Mm. Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, well, this literally doesn't work. Let's get open for business, and thank you guys for joining this morning's edition of Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys, because you literally cannot sleep on the Dallas Cowboys because things can happen late in the evening, late at night, first thing in the morning. So you want to be up to speed on all that is the Dallas Cowboys. And here we are, 69 days, 8 hours, 23 minutes, and 36 seconds away from kickoff against the Carolina Panthers. And I got to tell you, it's coming quicker than we think, guys. Remember when I started, we were at 90 something. That seems like just boom, yesterday. Time keeps on slipping into the future, guys. So here we are. It's another Monday, but cheer up. We've got our Monday night live stream at 9 o'clock Eastern where we're talking about what else? The Dallas Cowboys. But something interesting. My buddy Leon, late last night, sent me a link from Randy Gregory's Instagram. And the question is, does Randy Gregory know something that we don't yet? Randy Gregory, in his Instagram post, said, "So many blessings in my life right now, y'all don't understand." You know, when you're so hungry, your stomach starts caving in, and feeling like it's eating itself? Yeah, that's me right now. Hmm. Do we infer anything from that? So many blessings in my life right now, y'all just don't understand. Has he been notified from the NFL of their decision? Because when we start hearing about the tests, the teams aren't necessarily notified of failed drug tests. The NFL will have correspondence back and forth that others may not be privy to. And as we learned from David Irving's estranged baby's mama about a failed drug test before the team knew about it or anybody else, is it possible that he's been notified already and knows that he's going to be reinstated? And that's why he's saying so many blessings right now. Y'all don't understand. He can't come out and say, guys, I'm going to be reinstated. He has to wait for the NFL to make that announcement, but kind of slipped it in just a little bit. Now, one thing I've always said, that football is totally different now than when I grew up. A lot of the guys did football not for the money, it was for the love of the sport. And when you were a player of a team, pretty much you were a player of that team for your career. There wasn't free agency and things where guys were moving constantly. Yes, there were trades and things. But generally speaking, when you looked at the Doomsday defense and Randy White, Ed Too Tall Jones, um, all of those guys were going to be Dallas Cowboys players for their career. And the same thing with the Washington Redskins and the Over the Hill gang, the Chris Hamburgers, the Joe Theismanns, and things like that. So they really bought into being a cowboy. Nowadays, today, you'll hear players always say, this team, or I'm here to help this team do such and such. It's kind of like a doctor with a patient. The doctor doesn't want to get emotionally attached to the person because then they can't make the right calls. They're very sterile. They're not owning it. They're not passionate about it. It's a job. And that, my friends, is the way most football players are. They look at it as, I am a independent contractor. I get a 1099. I'm here to do a job. Randy Gregory, as soon as he was drafted by the Cowboys, got a tattoo star, much like Michael Anthony Fitness has, on his arm. That guy was passionate. You couldn't say that he wasn't passionate. He just couldn't stay off the weed. But he was passionate about being a Dallas Cowboy player. So maybe, just maybe, and I think expectations are too high. I know he has natural gifts and talents. But you got to get on the field and stay on the field to do that. So maybe, and I think it will be sometime before training camp starts, that the NFL will have their decision. And after some of the things that have gone on, you got Jameis Winston, who basically grabbed a woman in the crotch and admitted it and gets 3 games, and you got a guy who's smoking weed who's been suspended for a year. If you keep him suspended for more than that, now you just look vengeful as can be and just look like hypocrites. You're talking about, I am smoking weed, which is only affecting me, versus assault, which is affecting someone else. 3 games, 16 games. So we'll see how that works out with that. Other than that, it is all quiet on the Dallas Cowboys front. And I'm happy to say we've made it through another weekend, because this is that time of year where teams, fans, everybody is sitting on edge, worrying about their players staying out of trouble, not getting hurt, and ready to come into training camp. I know there's a lot of people out there who don't believe in the Dallas Cowboys, thinks that we're frauds and everything, and don't believe in us. I believe that this youth movement that has happened with this team, I believe the pieces we've added will end up making this team better, and I think this team will be making some noise. I know a lot of you guys, especially you Carolina Panthers, and I'm going to bring that up later on as well. Let me pull this up real quick, because I definitely have to address this later. Another fan, and I appreciate all of you fans that end up sending me information and things. Anthony. Yeah, Anthony sent me about a Carolina Panther blogger. We'll deal with this guy later. Sheltron from Carolina. Yeah. He basically says that the season opening game against the Cowboys will basically be their 5th preseason game. That nobody on the Cowboys scares them. And he basically talked about Randy Gregory. Talk about people that are misinformed and just really don't have a clue about the Dallas Cowboys. We'll divulge into his take later on and start getting this thing rolling. Now, one caveat, though, I will say. One thing about Jason Garrett and the Dallas Cowboys is it seems to be we always break the mold of things. We end up going in different directions. We found ways to lose that nobody else has. And one crazy stat for the Dallas Cowboys is, under Jason Garrett, every year we've made the playoffs. This is crazy. We have lost the first game of the season. Hard to believe, isn't it? Because that goes against the statistics out there. Generally speaking, your odds of making the playoffs are greater when you win the first game. Not with the Cowboys, not with Jason Garrett. So the question is, do we want to win against the Carolina Panthers to start the season? I'd say after seeing this video from this guy, yeah. Let's.
Our job is to sell socks, not make videos. That's why we love.
And this here make me tough to you, snack cake to me, yeah, more hostess. This been overdue forever. Asked me when it was dropping, said never. Should've made you cut the feather, but I designed it Freemason Margiela.
What's good, Sheltron here, the most woke, no joking. I'm back at it.
Yeah. We'll talk about him and his predictions later. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Joe Boo, and I've got to get to my day job before it gets too hot. Got a deck to take care of. I'll see you guys soon.